Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Sugar Kitty Mystic. So today we're going to be going through a series that I'm starting on the scariest cards in tarot and why you shouldn't fear them. So my hope is to help you understand the meaning of these cards, upright and reversed, and to empower you so that when they come up in a reading, you're not feeling as fearful about it, and you kind of understand the deeper gift that it has to show you. So hopefully that sounds interesting for you. Today we're starting with my favorite card in the entire deck, and that is the Death card. So you can take a look at what it looks like in my deck. It's a little bit different. And then I'll put up kind of beside me here what the original Rider White looks like. White or White version looks like. So you can see it's like a horseman riding into town, and he's got some people begging him for his life, as well as the sun rising in the background. In mine, you also have the sun, the moon, and the world. You have an owl, you have time, and you have the scales. And then if you go back to the oldest form of tarot, put that up for you as well. It's just a little skeleton man harvesting. And you can see there's a little bit of body parts around, but there's the sun in the background, and he's just using his scythe to harvest. So yes, the Death card is definitely the scariest card for most people. A lot of people, when you talk about tarot, they're immediately like, oh, I hope I don't get the Death card. Death in tarot does not mean you are going to die. It does not mean someone around you is going to die. It rarely, if ever, signifies an actual physical death. It has a much deeper meaning than that, which we'll get into now. So, if you pull the tarot upright, or if you pull the Death card upright, then this means transitions, transformation, endings, and beginnings. It is dying so that you can be reborn. So when you find the Death card upright in a reading, it's meaning that a cycle is ending in your life. Something is coming to a close that is no longer serving you, and you're moving into a new phase. And you're in this kind of transitionary period, which can be intense. It can be a bit heavy. It can sometimes come with painful feelings like loss, grief, fear of uncertainty. With death, you get a lot of stepping into the unknown. We just know that the thing that we're leaving behind is behind us, and we don't really know what's coming next. So it can be a fearful period if you're choosing to see it in that way. In essence, though, it's a period of positive change. It's the opening up for something new. It's the taking away something so that we have more space for what really fulfills us in life. So it depends where you get this card in a reading, what the context is exactly, to decipher what it is that's kind of needing to end or transition or transform. But you can think of this process as a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. So when a caterpillar goes to turn into a butterfly, first it goes into its cocoon, right? And all of its organs, its bones, and everything gets completely liquefied. And it undergoes this huge change and then recrystallizes into its new shape. So this card, the Death card, this card is that period in the cocoon where you're liquefying everything in your life and you're not exactly sure if you're even going to come out yet, but you definitely will. In every representation of this card, you always see the sun to signify that the sun is rising. The sun is coming just around the corner. After this period of fall and winter, you'll return to spring and new things will flourish. So that is the main thing that the upright Death card represents. Also, if you're a Scorpio like me, or if you have Scorpio in your chart, then this is you, baby. This is your energy. Yeah, so if you get this card in a reading where you're trying to decipher who someone is, or what sign they might be. This represents Scorpio, always represents Scorpio. Part of the reason they're such an intense sign is that their energy is the Death card. So yeah, if you are a Scorpio yourself and the Death card comes up in a reading, that is a very positive sign for you, more so than most people. If you're a Scorpio and you see the Death card, it's your energy showing up. It's what you are made to handle. It's what you're made to go through. And for you, it's usually a lucky, positive sign. For some people that don't deal with death as much, if you're an air sign or if you're an earth sign and you don't have to go through as much of those kind of heavy emotional periods, it can be a little bit more frightening to see the Death card. But overall, it's a change that's in your best interest and for your highest good. So if you can figure out how to move with that change and get excited by that ending, then you'll get a lot more positive benefits from it. So now, if you happen to pull the Death card in reverse, this means that there is a change or transformation that needs to take place in your life and you are resisting it. You are not allowing the change to happen, even if you know what it is, even if you know that you need it. You are resisting that change, and because of that, your life is becoming stagnant and you're stuck in this period of limbo. So if you pull this card in reverse, it's a good time to ask yourself, where am I stuck and stagnant, and how can I get on board with the changes in my life? So the more that you can hop on board with those changes, the more that you can move with it in a positive way, the more positive this card is really going to be for you. Otherwise, death is one of the only inevitabilities of life. Change and transitions are just a part of life. They're going to happen to everyone. So if you do find yourself fighting against it, it's going to be harder for you. It's going to be a more difficult period, a more difficult change, a more difficult transformation. The other thing that the Death card can mean in reverse is a period of internal purging. So it could mean that you are kind of going into a dark night of the soul and you're clearing out things from your physical body. It could mean that you're about to work with plant medicines that will cause purging, or some sort of ceremonial purging in a way. That is the other potential meaning of death in reverse. So hopefully that was interesting for you. I'll leave you with one final thing. Death is the fertilizer for life. It isn't until we reach a period where an ending occurs that we reevaluate things. It is what allows us to step in to a bigger, brighter, and more fulfilling future. It is not until you are diagnosed with a terminal illness and you know you are going to die that you finally take the chance of living your dreams, or taking that trip you always wanted to take, or making amends with that person you could never make amends with. And the reason that this happens is because death is actually what creates life. And when we understand with something like a terminal illness that we really are going to die, all of a sudden that need to reevaluate, that need to go forward into what we actually want is way more in our faces. It's huge. It's undeniable at that point in life. So that's what death is giving you. It's here to give you that reevaluation. It's here to give you that change, that ability to chase what you want, that nothing left to lose, so I may as well go for it feeling. And it does this in a much softer way than just telling you you are going to die. So yeah, definitely think about that. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. You can let me know in the comments how you felt about it. And thank you so much for watching. If you have a scariest tarot card, I'd love to hear from you. You can comment it below so that can help kind of dictate which one I'll do next. Otherwise, if you like these videos, feel free to subscribe. And I hope you have a beautiful day and a beautiful journey.